I didn't know what was happening. I was a bit scared. I didn't know what to do. I thought I might not get out. I feel lucky to be alive.
A few years ago, this pub caught fire, and Tim Pickles was one of the people trapped inside.
There was smoke going on. I just smelled it a bit, but I didn't think all about it. Then all of a sudden it started getting a bit hot. I started really panicking.
Tim was lucky, but lots of people aren't. Fires can kill, so we have to do everything we can to stop them happening. That's why this DVD has been made, and that's why you should watch it carefully.
Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care. Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care.
They're right, you know.
Fire can break out anywhere, but the kitchen can be a particular danger spot.
Dave!
What do you want?
Dave!
Oh dear, look at this.
This is terrible.
This is so dangerous.
Somebody needs a safety lesson.
You're right, you know what this is then, don't you?
This is a job for George.
Hello you two, what's the problem?
Look at this, George.
I see what you mean, this is a real fire hazard, isn't it? We're going to have to do something about this. Excuse me. Sorry to barge in on you, but do you realise how dangerous this is? Okay, let's go through the dangers together, shall we? Never leave any cooking, even for a minute. If you need to leave it, switch it off. Keeping your cooker clean means that fat doesn't build up. This could start a fire. Stop accidents happening by making sure the handles on your pans are not hanging over the edge of the hob and not pointing inwards, making them difficult to reach. Tea towels should be kept well away from the cooker because these too can easily catch fire. And finally, flexes for kettles and toasters should be placed away from the cooker as these too can catch fire. So will you remember that in future?
Yes.
Good, because we don't want any accidents, do we?
Stop. Thinking. Fire doesn't care. Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care. Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care. Stop.
They're right, you know.
Just a moment's carelessness can cause a fire, and people can easily get careless if they're tired or under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Oh dear. That's not very good, is it?
That could set the curtains on fire.
Look, the TV still on standby, should be unplugged from the wall.
And look! That bin!
Oh dear, you know what I'm thinking?
Yes, this is a job for George.
Hello again, more problems?
See for yourself, George.
It's not very safe, is it, George?
It certainly isn't. Hello, are you still awake?
What's going on here?
Sorry about this, but you don't want your house to catch fire, do you?
No.
Candles can easily start a fire. Make sure you put them somewhere safe and in a proper candle holder. And when you leave the room, make sure the candles are out. TVs can cause fires too. If you switch your TV off at the plug, it is far safer than just leaving it on standby. Cigarettes are another danger. Before you go to bed, make sure your cigarette is out, right out. And then make sure you empty your ashtray in the outside bin and never use a waste paper basket as an ashtray. So please, try to be more careful in future.
Yes, I will.
Good.
Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care. Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care.
They're right, you know.
You're up a bit late, aren't you?
Electrical equipment is a major cause of fires, so make sure you don't take chances with it.
Oh dear! Oh dear!
I was supposed to say that.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright. What about that?
It's really dangerous.
And that. And that.
It's a real fire risk.
You're right, and you know what?
This is a job for George.
Here we are again. What have you spotted?
Have a look at this.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That's what he says.
We'd better put this right. Excuse me, can I have a word? Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you, but do you realise this bedroom is a fire hazard?
What do you mean?
Leaving your hair straighteners on the bed and without switching them off is a fire hazard. When you leave the room, make sure they are switched off and put in a safe place, like a heat-resistant mat. Electrical appliances are also a major cause of fire. Unplug electrical appliances when not in use and before you go to bed. Make sure your sockets are not overloaded. Remember, one plug to one socket is a good rule to follow. Frayed or damaged cables can be dangerous too. If they look damaged, don't use them, replace them. I know it costs money to buy a new fire, but it's better than burning a house down, isn't it?
Yes.
Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care. Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care. Stop. Think. Fire doesn't care.
Is it right?
Yeah, they are.
Unless you've experienced a fire like Tim, you won't know how frightening it can be. You need to do everything you can to stop fires happening, like following the advice George gave to the people in this DVD. You should also have a smoke detector fitted in your hall or landing, or both if you live in a house with 2 floors. If a fire starts, they could save your life. So they need to be tested every week to make sure the battery's okay, and you do that just by pressing the button. If you don't have a smoke alarm and you live in rented accommodation, ask your landlord if you can have one fitted. Something else you should do is make a fire escape plan. If there was a fire, you might not be able to get out of your house by the normal route, so you need to think about different ways of getting out and raising the alarm. George or somebody else from the fire service can help you decide on the best way to escape from a fire, and then you can write it down in your fire escape plan.
Making a fire escape plan could save your life. Here are a few tips. Fit smoke alarms on every level of your home and remember to test them every week. Plan your escape route and make sure everyone else in the house knows how to get out safely too. Make sure there's nothing in the way for your escape route. Keep doors, windows, hallways and stairs clear. Have a second escape route in case your first one is blocked by the fire. Take a few minutes to practice your escape plan. Keep your door or window keys in a place where everyone else in the house can find them. Keep your fire escape plan up to date. It's a good idea to check these things before you go to bed. If a fire does start, don't tackle it yourself. Get out, stay out and call 999.